Mississippi. Joining us now, Mayor Andrew Fofo Gillich of the great city of Biloxi. Mayor, good to see you, sir.
Great to see you, George. Everything's great down here. I hope you're doing well.
Yes, sir. Sure are. So, always good to visit with you. We wanted to have you on today to talk about the situation with Bonnet Carre Spillway. It looks like maybe we're going to get a little attention to this matter from a federal court on the operation of the spillway as far as its impact on the Gulf Coast.
Well, we certainly hope so. I think it's a great step. I don't know, what it actually totally means impactful wise, but we passed, I guess our Harrison County, Hancock County, 2 or 3 counties, as well as most of the cities, came up with some money to put this on the table and get a fair hearing. And I think the result was what we wanted. At least it's the first step. There'll be more steps to go, and no rest for the weary. But it's a good first step because perception is what really damages everything as far as the algae and the opening of Bonnet Carre. Without you just sit back there and just hope. But now I think we have a little bit of a path, a little bit of a process that we can move forward with.
So this relates to, I believe, a few years ago, was it 2018, 19, when the Corps, 19, okay, the Corps opened the spillway and that released water from the river into the Sound.
Well, it's more than just water. Everybody talking about fresh water, but it's nothing fresh about Mississippi River water. 37 states and 2 provinces of Canada, push water, with various, chemicals and fertilizers and everything that winds up down here at flood stage. And their only alternative is to pull those boards out of the Bonnet Carre Spillway, pushes it into Pontchartrain into the Mississippi Sound, and that devastated everything, including tourism and including oysters and everything that you really don't want to see and don't want to be at the mercy of not so much Mother Nature, but just good science. And that's what we're hoping for. Hey, let's do what's reasonable and look at alternatives. There are other spillways, other metrics that say, okay, open this now to avoid the problems we had in 2019. And it was just as bad as the BP oil spill in some of the perceptions. Things are polluted. Don't send me any of your shrimp. Don't send me any of your oysters. I don't need domestic stuff. That hurts more than anything, and it takes years to overcome that, as well as just people. Dr. Moby Solange talked about what happened as a result. More dolphins were washing up, and those kinds of turtles, and I mean, it really did some damage with regard to that pollution, that kind of water getting to our shores.
Yeah, and it also drives the production of algae as well, does it not, Mayor? And that causes problems.
That's right. No question. I mean, you can literally see that in the greenness and the deposits that are as a result of. But we just hopefully that we can avoid that in the future. But we still got to fight. I mean, you got to be vigilant and tee it up. It's ready to go.
Yeah. How's the industry doing now? Has it recovered fully, would you say?
Well, 2 things. Like I said, the impact for oysters really, and that's not so much. It's a very delicate situation as far as oysters. You used to be millions and millions of oysters, sacks, and hundreds of thousands of sacks, and now we're down to almost 0. And that certainly didn't help it. And it takes years to really build your oyster population back up. But then also the crabs and some of those other things. It's coming back. But so many, you got to have a certain mixture of salt water and fresh water. Not too much of either it's perfect. The Hayseed saline lime tells you where things are viable. And it's sort of a dynamic kind of movement of where you can grow oysters. We're struggling. The Department of Marine Resources is, puts all kinds of energy and effort and money into figuring out how to best get it going again. But it's a battle.
Yeah. Absolutely. So what sort of legal proceedings are coming up, and when do they get kicked off?
Well, I'm sure there'll be some appeal, and I know our team is looking for another trip to D.C. to meet with the fisheries, marine fisheries. That's the big point. The Corps of Engineers were told you must
Yeah.
consider other factors, and Gulf fisheries is sort of our salvation. They know
Mm-hmm.
they know what those kinds of chemicals and what kinds of damage an opening of a spillway will do, and just hopefully that they can evaluate Morganza's, the spillway is up towards Baton Rouge and hit the Chaffalot Basin. Some other things that when the numbers, so many billions of gallons per second, queues up
Yeah.
at a certain gate, says, okay, now you better, be prepared. So I don't think at this point in time today, the river's sort of down as far as, so we're hopeful at least, this
Yeah.
year. But you never can tell. You never can tell. And you look at the rain and these rivers of precipitation coming in from the west. You never know. So
Yeah. Yes. So, Mayor, is the city and the other plaintiffs on the coast, are you seeking some sort of compensation for the damages?
not at this point. I mean, that's a stretch, but we would. I mean, it's hard to dollarize that perception. Hey, don't send me into this. I mean, how can you dollarize loss of sales? How can you
Yeah.
predict, what you could have sold? Because that's what you'd have to do back to 2019. Hey, my oyster yield was this. Now it's that. I lost
Yeah.
this. But it's a lot of dynamics in every calculation, as you know, and then take it to court and who's going to do what is a big question. But we
Yeah.
know that what we're doing is righteous as far as we've got to have at least somebody to listen to us, and that hasn't happened in the past.
Sure. So, Mayor, I had the privilege of visiting the Gulf Coast, the Biloxi area, a couple of months ago. It looks like things are thriving down there. Give us an update.
Oh, it is. It's amazing the visitation. Just in our little city, we've got 49,872 according to the census, but we have 4.2 million visitors a year, and we have 7,000 hotel
Wow.
rooms that give you a sense of that people are here. So it's another population that visit us. That's for sure. And if you got here on the weekend, you know how hard hotel rooms are, and,
Yep.
and uh, and, and people are in this office every day on what can we do as far as growing the hotel motel, the visitation business, and we're all ears, and we're there to increase that. But
The
you're
city's
right,
in good shape.
So far.
Yeah.
But
Financially, you're doing good this year?
yeah, we've had some good years, amazingly, since the pandemic, 2021, 22, now 23, we're in the middle of it. Seems to be, we're aggressive in our budgetary and our looking at revenues, and so far on track. And we're thankful of that.
Yeah. Anything else you want to talk to us about with respect to economic development projects that you're able to share?
Well, as the legislation is going on right now, we need a couple of things that, as far as just give us the infrastructure, give us of course, a bridge is helpful. We've got two ways, doing storm evacuation or, defense access, and those bridge projects, the one that used to be 75 million, now it's 200 million, and
Yeah.
we're all ears about what can be done together to give us access and make it more attractive and more convenient for people to visit down here on the coast. Got a lot of projects, on the coast. When you go from Biloxi, Gulfport, Bay St. Louis, or towards Ocean Springs, there's not a lot of delineation. Oh, I'm going from here to there. We're all in the same boat, and we want to be sure that business is here. We got to bring new business in. That's the main attraction.
Looks like it's booming, and right around the corner, one of the busiest times of year for you is Mardi Gras.
Right. It comes February 21st, but we talked about in my director's meeting this morning, the different Mardi Gras events, the different crews, the different balls, and different happenings, around our city and our civic centers and some of the venues. So That's exciting. It's right around the corner.
Mayor, always good to visit with you, sir. Talk to you soon. Thank you.
Thank you, man. Y'all have a great day. Thank you, Gerard.
You too. Mayor Fofo Gillich has been our guest, the mayor of Biloxi. We're going to take a break. Coming right back in the Element Wealth studio.